What's up, traders? Matt from the Trade Brigade here doing a technical analysis on ticker symbol QQQ for the NASDAQ 100 ETF. On the left-hand side, we have the daily time frame, and on the right-hand side, the 30-minute intraday time frame. First things first, this will, of course, be an update. We talk about this marketplace regularly here on the channel. Zooming in on the daily time frame chart, an indecision doji has printed right at our area of support, coming from not only the horizontal breakout, you can see that here on the 30-minute time frame, but also the daily support trendline, coming from the anchor low, first higher low, and again, getting into that on Friday and sort of holding on today's session, right? I thought there was going to be a firmer choice in terms of direction, simply didn't come on today's session. So maybe one more day will solidify whether or not this support trend line breaks to the downside or we hold it and remain above. To the upside, it still doesn't get us out of the woods, quote unquote. I would say that level would be up and over roughly 354, right? If we can recapture that to the upside, it starts to get me feeling a little bit more bullish, maybe even slightly just neutral instead of being bearish right now. But as long as we're underneath that level right there, things are definitely in the court for the bears, noting that any sort of retest there and rollovers are nothing more than lower highs from here to here. We would look for equal lows, at least bring us to the low end of this prior consolidation range, around the 341.82, if not lower, to the low of the Monday panic that we saw, what was that, 3 or 4 weeks ago now, roughly 334.27. So indecision, again, not really telling us a whole lot about direction here on the daily time frame chart, just sitting in limbo, but we still have to give it to the bears because we're underneath that pivot. If we take a closer look at the 30-minute time frame, there's a couple of ways we can slice the cake here. Nothing but choppy and, indecisive action on the open. It was higher, it was lower, it was higher into the close. Let's just make it really simple. Let's take out the Fibonacci's and analyze this most current move from the top to the bottom here. We're still underneath the 38.2, which just so happens to be coinciding with that magical pivot from the daily time frame. As we sort of pointed out, anything in here is still just bearish consolidation, looking for flushes to get us into those lower targets we discussed. Or if we recapture the 38.2, it does start to shift the tone back to being more neutral, maybe slightly bullish if we can start heading up into, we would call this zone number 1, right? Zone number 1 is traditionally above the 61.8. Zone number 2 is in between in here where you get chop. And zone number 3 is bear flag consolidation territory, which is where we're at currently, okay? So that's how I'm thinking about the QQQ. Very simple when we break out our Fibonacci's and just use simple zone theory. It's also very simple to think about when we think about the big levels from the daily time frame, right? If we're underneath that pivot, has to be more bearish than bullish. If we're above it, start to be more neutral in this overall area of chop and consolidation that we had in the past, all right? So it's as simple as that in the QQQ. If you enjoyed the video today or learned anything new, let me know in the comments section or by giving the video a thumbs up. Don't forget our main channel is linked in the description. And all of that being said, I wish you a green trading week.